You mentioned some partnerships with Posh and your alcohol sponsors. What kind of tips can you give for businesses who are looking to create those relationships, or what they should work on or already have together before they try to make those relationships start?
Be be patient and collect as much data as possible. If you don't know your audience, like if you don't know their age range, their like control, you have to control everything. Like you have to know anybody who buys the ticket from you, you need to know their first and last name, their email address, their phone number at a bare minimum. Just don't just name, number, email address. That way, when and if all these social media platforms go away, you have your spreadsheet of every single customer you've ever had, and you could still reach them. You could send them. You could send them a text message. You could send them an email. You pick up the phone and call them. They're still your customers. And then if you can get more information, the better. But at least those three things, because a brand wants to know who's your
Yeah.
audience, right? Like on this podcast, let's say you're like, well, Kevin, I'm looking for a sponsor for my podcast. I'd say, well, who's your audience? Who do y'all like? Who do you reach? How many people do you reach? How many views do you get? What How much are you looking for? If you have a female audience, are you looking for like female audience type like brands? I'm just gonna make up some stuff like a makeup line or but is it a traveling podcast? You need like a bikini sponsor, or you have to know who wants to get in touch with your organic audience, and you have to be realistic. Can they reach your audience without you? Sometimes they can. Why would I give you $1,000 to promote when if I put $1,000 in Meta ads or Google ads, I could reach 300,000 people. You're only going to reach X amount of people, so
Right.
I can't give you more than I can get elsewhere. That's just economics. That's just the opportunity cost of giving you this thousand versus putting this thousand somewhere else. It's going to be a bigger reach. So you have to be reasonable in what your ask is. I Getting sponsors is hard. Um, it's really hard because there's so many gatekeepers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started getting sponsors for Urban Camp Weekend, they came in pretty good and pretty big, but it took years. I was paying out of pocket for every one of my events. I was I was cutting the check. So if Urban Camp Weekend cost $80,000 to put on, that 80,000 came out of my checking account, you know. And if I didn't sell tickets, I would have been without $80,000. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, so if you're not willing to put up your own money, you can't expect sponsors and vendors to do that for you. You got to be willing to do an event and not sell one ticket and still be okay. If you start sweating over ticket sales, you'll start making irrational decisions,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just like in life, and that's like a life lesson. In life, when you are hard up on money and times get rough, people start
Panicking.
making irrational, panicking, making irrational decisions. They start selling stuff they shouldn't be selling, whether it's stuff in their house, selling their body, selling whatever. That's just, you
Right.
know, I know people right now are running over to OnlyFans because they because AI didn't took their job, so they selling feet pics or something. Like
Yeah.
you start making irrational or rational decisions. Um, Same thing with curating events. And you have to ask yourself like is your event even fun? You know what I mean? Like some people overestimate or underestimate how fun their event really is. Like that's not that fun in this world. Like I know several things to be true. Women travel for the most part more than men.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, mm. And so you have to think about the psychology of that. Men can get most of what they need pretty easy. If you live in Houston, Dallas, Nashville, Memphis, New York, LA, Chicago, and you're a man and you just want to go watch, and I'm just going to throw some stuff out there. Let's say you just want to go watch sports. You just want to go to the bar, watch sports, hang out with your friends, see some chicks, meet some women now. You could do that without leaving a 5 mile radius of your house.
True.
So unless you just want to travel to South Africa or Ghana and explore the world, you don't have to. Your hands are full juggling women in your own city. Women, for the most part, not for the most part, women, I'm definitely overgeneralizing here. So hopefully the people in your comments don't chew me up about this. Women are dating in a real pissy swimming pool of just bad, worthless people.
Yeah.
So, and they're better stewards with money. So they have the money, finances, time to go travel. Be like, hey girl, you want to go to Dubai? Like, whatever we doing in Nashville ain't working. Let's just go travel. Let's just go spend our money. Let's go. And so women will link up in a heartbeat and go on a girl's trip. No, most men aren't being like, "Hey, dog, you want to go to Dubai?" And no, they're good where they're at.
Right.
So women travel more than men. Women have more of a thirst for travel and exploration than men do. I don't think that's by nature, but I think in this current state that we live in, that's just what it is. I have the data to show it. Or at least my customers. If I have 100 people on a trip, um, it might be 10 men and 90 women,
Yep.
hypothetically speaking, because that's just what it is. So before you get out there and start trying to curate spaces, you have to understand psychology and economics of the real world. Your event only sounds good in your head, but is it practical? Like I know the data. Like so, for example, I know in Texas, if you're on, if you don't have a good co-parenting situation, which I have a good co-parenting situation, but let's say you don't, and the court has to decide when you see your kids, that's going to be every first, third, and fifth weekend, right? And so I know from an event curation standpoint, if I have more women at my event than men, I'm going to host my event on first, third, and fifth weekends because I know their kids going to be with their daddies for the most part.
Right.
So now you don't even have to find a babysitter. I got you covered.
Smart.
That's just math and science. And like when you actually start thinking of are you a tactician? Are you a sniper? Are you really trying to make sure you make this event? Or if I'm going to do an international trip, I know your average corporate person may only have 2 to 6 weeks of vacation a year, right? So I'm gonna try to choose a holiday where you're already off a couple of days. So I might do like a Labor Day. That way you don't have to take off too much from work because you're already off anyway. Or Fourth of July, where I'm like, okay, well, you might have to take off 3 days of work as opposed to 4 days of work. I'm trying to save you that day of work, so I'm trying to do it on special days where you're already gonna have a long weekend. Um, Different times of year matter. If you're trying to do a trip to the Caribbean during hurricane season, you might want to take that into consideration. That your event could get hit by a hurricane.
Man.
Um, if you're doing an outdoor event in October, November, the weather may be treacherous. It may be a snowstorm, ice storm. In Texas, an October event, it's been 40 degrees or 80 degrees. You just don't know.
Right. So many hurricane seasons out there.
Hurricane season is technically almost like at least 5 months out the year.
Wow.
So you have to know, or like when I do Dubai, you have to know when like certain countries have religious holidays where they might be fasting. So if you don't know that, you just pop up in Dubai and it's Ramadan. You're like, where's everybody at? Like, you chose the wrong 30 days to be in Dubai.
Right.
You got to know and have the cultural clairvoyance to understand the industry that you're in and be good at what you do. You know,
Period.
um, yeah.
Okay. That helps a lot, and that transitions into my next question, which is something that I've been building on my side. And speaking of women being mostly the travelers and people that comes to mostly that comes to these events, I have a company called Pretty Girls Travel, and
Mm,
it's more of a wellness based travel and lifestyle community. So I'm curious, like, do you feel like people are starting to want more than just trips, like experiences that actually pour into themselves, like mentally, physically,
absolutely,
and emotionally?
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I have a Facebook group. It's called Black Mental Health. Black Mental Health on Facebook. It's like 8 or 9 thousand members in it,
Wow.
right? And I rarely post in it. I rarely post in it. I just observe it and I like approve and decline certain posts, but I don't personally post in there that often. Um, but I see so many wellness trips and events that come across my timeline. I've been asked to curate some, but it's just it's not necessarily my passion, but I think it's necessary. You know what I mean? I think it's very necessary. It's just not something that I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I definitely encourage the type of events that you anything that's dealing with mental health, whether it's yoga related, therapy related, relaxation weekends. Because I started the Black Mental Health group because one of my line brothers had committed suicide, but he wasn't the first person or the last person since then that I've known that have committed suicide. So I definitely know that there's a need for curated spaces for people to relax, relate, release, so to speak. And although I've juggled the idea of hosting one, I'd much rather be in the background of helping someone put one together, because it's not my particular passion, but it's my passion for people to have outlets to relax, relate, release, to seek health. My mom was a mental health professional, in the Army for 22 years. She worked in a psychiatry hospital. So I have a good understanding of mental health. I just want to give people the space to curate those. You know what I mean? I think if that's something that you're getting involved in, there's definitely a space for it. If we want to talk about the financial side of it, there's a lot of organizations and companies that will send people on those retreats for
Oh,
and cover the costs
really?
for a very decent amount of money. Yeah, and so and the beauty of it is like you can literally go to any AI chat bot and just ask it like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this type of trip. What would be my core audience? What companies would fund or pay for that? Which learning institutions will blah blah blah." Or you can add like a continuing education component to it where you have somebody speak for 3 hours over a 4 day 3 night weekend, and it's not only a tax write-off but they can also get a CE credit for it. So there's many different ways. So just put all that, like, I don't know if you get a transcript from your podcast, but
Yeah.
if you get a transcript from it, then for note sakes, just copy and paste that and make it a prompt, and it'll give you the blueprint. And I'm not promoting ChatGPT or Claude or anything, but choose whatever one you feel the most comfortable with, and they will give you almost a blueprint for that. You know, some people don't know what to put in there, but just put that in there, whatever I just said, and it'll give you a blueprint on how to make that happen. Then you just have to execute.
So I got a couple of rapid fire questions to ask you before we close out, so you can just give me one word answers. Uh, you ready?
They have to be one word.
Uh, or a few, or a sentence. Yes.
I'll
Okay.
say I'll keep it under 3 words.
Okay, that's cool.
No, but and warning. I
Disclaimer.
feel free to ask me to clarify after it's done. But I'll give 3 words to every answer. Be 3 words, 3 words or less.
Okay. All right. Favorite country you've been to?
Favorite country I've been to. Let's go with let's see, let's say the UAE, which is so rare, but I like South Africa. But we'll go with UAE.
Okay, so you're right. Why?
Because I make the most money there.
I know that's right.
I make the most money in Dubai. Dubai has treated me well. So Dubai's in the UAE, and so yeah, we make a lot of money in Dubai. Even
Okay.
though they're at war right now, so we'll see how that lasts. But I still have contracts for like the Coca-Cola Arena up there, and
Nice.
and we have a Black in Dubai Facebook group with 480,000 members.
Really? Look at you.
Yeah,
You was killing
yeah.
the game. Kevin, let's
Yeah.
go.
We secretly got our hands in a lot of different pots. So yeah,
I love that.
yeah. So the UAE,
All
it
right.
would be the answer to that question.
Okay. Which country has the best food?
Well, I gotta say the UAE again, simply because it's very diverse. You didn't ask me to clarify, but I'm gonna clarify. There's a lot of African, Asian, this, that. They're able to afford the best chefs from around the world and bring them to Dubai. So like, if you're a chef in South Africa and you're the best of the best, whatever it is you do there, Dubai could pay you more to come to Dubai and cook for them. Because in your local currency, you're not getting paid that much anyway. It's not like in America, you're a celebrity chef making six figures. The best chef in whatever name of country, the best chef there is making less than $20,000, $30,000 a year. If you convert their money to our money, they don't get off on this celebrity chef stuff like we do
Yeah.
in the U.S. They just know how to cook. You know what I mean? And or at least the ones that have used spices and seasoning. But yeah, the UAE, no matter where you go, the food is there's no bad meals being served. No matter what you're into, there's Asian influence, African influence, all the things.
Nice. Okay. What's your biggest travel pet peeve?
I have a lot. For clarify,
Top
like for
three
me, for me, or for like,
for you,
or for the people.
or whatever. Just what irks you when you travel when it happens and you just
Um, how do I say this? How we, well, okay, in three words, I could say bonnets. Um, uh, yeah,
I can't stand it
also
either.
bonnets, um, cultural awareness. Um, I let me kind of clarify.
Please, I was gonna ask you anyway.
So when we travel, when we step foot outside, when we step foot in an airport, we're representing African Americans. Period. When you're in an airport, you're not in an airport with just people that live in your city. You're in an airport with people that have connecting flights, people that are from other countries. They're seeing you as African American potentially for the very first time. The only other thing they've seen or know about you is what they see on social media, Real Housewives of Atlanta, some stupid shows
Right.
that like paint us in a weird way. So they only know what they see on TV. The only way to break the stereotype is for them to see you and be like, well, she looks different than what I see on TV and what I think about black people. And I'm not saying you have to be dressed up. Matter of fact, I dress in sweatpants and a t-shirt as much as possible. But I'm not gonna walk around looking like I just woke up and perpetuating different stereotypes out there. Like you could do better. And when I say cultural, and then when you land in other spaces, it's the same thing. One, lower your voice. Americans are loud in general, and that's not just African Americans. Americans are loud people. Most cultures are relatively quieter, softer spoken people. And so you don't have to be seen and heard everywhere you go. Like, and you're not in America. Quit asking for like American type shit in somebody else's country. You're not in America. You're in their country. This is how they do it. If they move slow, they move slow. Most countries move a lot slower than we do when it comes to service. When you're at a restaurant, be patient. But motherfuckers slow. People are slow. We live at a faster pace than the rest of the world. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like we expect to be seated and have a meal in front of us in less than 20 minutes. Nah, it might take you an hour for your food to come in some of these countries. Like, because they're literally cooking it fresh. They didn't pre-cook your meal.
Right.
Like sometimes you feel like they went to go kill it and then bring it to the restaurant because they take a long time. Don't go to a restaurant hungry. You need to eat before you go to a restaurant
Have a
because
snack.
it's yeah, have a snack because they're to them going out to eat is a social thing. It's not something that they rush through, you know. So like, what's the rush? The food's gonna get here when it gets here. You shouldn't have came hungry. Like their mindset's different. So really, just understanding that when you're in another country, you're in another country. Be prepared to deal with what they deal with. Um, there's not a lot of clean public restrooms in a lot of different countries. You know, sometimes you may have somebody selling toilet paper outside the restroom because the unhoused communities will sometimes take the toilet paper out of restrooms and then because you got to go, they'll sell you a couple of roll things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like so you better bring you some wipes and be prepared. So just understanding the country and the culture you're going to and be prepared to move. That's why I like group trips because I could educate our people on different cultures and set the expectations. Like, all right, when we get here, shift your mind. Don't expect uh, all the menus to have English words on them. Like you're not in their country. They don't owe you that. You know, you're in South Africa, you're in Ghana, you're in this and that. Like ask questions, humble yourself, you know. Yeah. So that's a long-winded way to answer your question, but
No, that was, I like it.
it's
I
a
like it. You
boss.
know, representation is everything, and you definitely have experienced all types of people, and yeah. And I was going to ask you, like, do you talk to them and prepare them? So I'm glad that you mentioned
Oh,
like you.
for sure. We send out a PDF file with like the agenda, the temperatures, the conversion rate of the currency, um, some neat attractions that are there that we might not visit, or not that we might not, that we're not going to visit, but these are some things of on your off day you want to go do these things, then here's how to go do it. But in the 6 7 days we're here, we can't visit all this stuff. But on that free day, or if you extend your trip, here's how you book this excursion, or here's the website or the phone number or the if I know the person, here's the contact person to make sure this happens. You know what I mean? Here's some private drivers that you can use. Here's some other hotels to where if you want to stay a few extra days, but you don't want to stay in this nice hotel and you want something a little less expensive, go stay here. You know? So yeah, we'll put like the cultural norms, some expectations. Yeah, it's all in one big PDF file that we send out. In every country, we have a variation of that.
All right.
Yeah,
Last question. Give me one word to describe your brand.
fun.
Man, I love it. I love it. Well,
Yeah,
listen, this right here is what I mean when I say that play is strategic. It's not about just about going places. It's about who you're going with, what you're building, and how you're showing up in those spaces. So, Kevin, I appreciate you for coming through and dropping gems with us today. Everyone listening, if this episode spoke to you, make sure you subscribe. Share it with somebody who needs to hear this and tap in with us. This was great. I really appreciate you taking the time out
yeah,
to drop all these gems on urban events global.
yeah. Fun times, fun times.